Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a secret that's been buried deep beneath the sands of the Sahara, and it all kicks off with a question that honestly seems to defy all logic. So get this, it's a pretty simple question, but the answer? Well, it's totally mind-bending. Why would you find ancient paintings of people swimming in the middle of the biggest hot desert on Earth? I mean, this one discovery, it just completely flips everything we think we know about this huge, dry place. Okay, so let's set the scene. The year is 1933. There's this Hungarian explorer, Laszlo Almasi, and he's way out in the middle of the Sahara. And what he's about to stumble upon is going to rewrite the history books for the whole region. He finds this remote cave, and inside are these absolutely stunning rock paintings. Now, back then, most people would have just brushed them off, said they were just myths or something symbolic. But Almasi, he had this totally wild idea. What if they weren't myths? What if they were like a literal photograph of daily life from a time when the Sahara was, well, a totally different world? And just look at what's in there. You've got these figures that really look like they're swimming, and right next to them, animals like giraffes and, wait for it, hippos. Seriously, hippos in the Sahara. I mean, think about it. Those guys need a ton of water to live. So for them to be here, it tells you something absolutely massive must have changed. Now, it did take a while, but Almasi's pretty controversial theory, it turned out to be spot on. Scientists started digging around and found evidence of this whole lost world buried right under the sand, a time period that we now call the Green Sahara. So this super lush time, it's officially known as the African Humid Period, and it just completely changed the face of North Africa. And the craziest part? It wasn't some one-off thing. Nope. It was actually part of this huge, predictable planetary cycle. Believe it or not, the Sahara actually flips back and forth between being a desert and a grassland. It happens on a regular schedule, about every 20,000 years. All it takes is a tiny wobble in the Earth's axis, which changes how much sun hits the northern hemisphere. That little shift amps up the West African monsoons, and boom, rain and life come pouring back into the desert. And the last time that happened, well, that's the world those ancient artists were painting. And the change was just staggering. I mean, you go from this green, lush landscape with huge lakes packed with fish, crocodiles, and hippos, to the wind-swept desert we know today. All because that big planetary clock just, ticked over and the cycle shifted back. But wait. The story doesn't stop there, not even close. In fact, the end of the Green Sahara gave birth to this mind-blowing connection, a link between the desert and this super vibrant ecosystem thousands of miles across the ocean. Yeah, it's a connection that seems totally impossible, right? But the answer, in one word, is dust. A giant continent-sized cloud of it that makes this unbelievable journey year after year. Okay, get ready for this number. According to NASA, every single year, winds whip up an average of 182 million tons of dust from the Sahara. Just let that number sink in for a second. 182 million tons. That is such a ridiculously huge amount, it's almost impossible to even imagine. To even try to get your head around it, picture this. A line of semi-trucks, all filled with dust, stretching for thousands upon thousands of miles. That's the kind of scale we're talking about here. And a massive chunk of that dust, it's headed to one very specific and very, very green place. So this epic journey kicks off in Chad, in a place that used to be the floor of a giant ancient lake, way back in the Green Sahara days. From there, the dust gets carried 1,600 miles across the Atlantic Ocean, and the reason this trip is so critical is because of what's hiding inside that dust. That dust is carrying about 22,000 tons of phosphorus, and it drops it right into the Amazon rainforest every year. Now, phosphorus is basically a super fertilizer for plants, and here's the twist. Even in the super lush Amazon, the soil is actually kind of poor in this one key ingredient. So here it is, the amazing connection. That dust, it's made up of the fossilized, mineral-packed remains of all the little critters that lived in the Sahara's ancient lakes. It's basically a fertilizer, gift-wrapped and delivered by the wind across an entire ocean. So the ghost of the green Sahara is literally feeding the Amazon rainforest today, creating this perfect, life-giving balance between two totally different worlds. How cool is that?
But this cycle of change, oh, it's far from over. The Sahara is always on the move. And right now, scientists are saying it's on the brink of another huge, dramatic transformation.
But this time around, the big change isn't being caused by that natural wobble in the Earth's axis. Nope, the driving force this time, well, it's us. So scientists looked at a whole bunch of climate models, 40 of them in fact, and they all point to something pretty wild. The Sahara could see a massive, and I mean a massive, 75% jump in rainfall by the end of the century. That is an absolute game changer for one of the driest places on the planet. So what's behind it? Well, to put it simply, a warmer atmosphere can hold way more moisture, and all that extra moisture in the air leads to bigger, heavier rainfall. So the how is different this time. It's not the Earth's wobble, but the end result could be incredibly similar. We might just be looking at the return of the green Sahara. When you think about it, from those ancient peoples swimming in a lake that's long gone, to the dust from that very lake feeding a jungle thousands of miles away, the whole story of the Sahara is just this powerful reminder of how connected everything on our planet really is.
It just goes to show you, right? These landscapes that we think are so permanent, deserts, rainforests, they're actually always changing, always in motion. They're linked together in these incredible ways we're only just starting to figure out. And that leaves us with one last pretty fascinating question to chew on. As the Sahara starts to turn green again, this time because of us, what new stories will be painted on its rocks?